Hello and welcome to Wisdom Forge. The secret to happiness? Accepting others, learn English this way. Introduction: the power of understanding others. Life becomes much simpler and happier when we learn to understand and accept people as they are. Often, conflicts and stress come from misunderstandings or expecting others to think like us. By developing empathy, putting ourselves in others' shoes, we build stronger relationships and reduce frustration. In this lesson, we'll explore how acceptance improves communication, mental peace, and even your English skills. As we discuss this topic, you'll learn useful vocabulary and phrases to express kindness and patience in daily conversations. Let's begin this journey toward a more peaceful and connected life. Why do we struggle to accept others? Many of us find it hard to accept people who are different from us. This happens because of our upbringing, personal biases, or fear of the unknown. For example, if someone speaks loudly, we might label them as rude instead of considering cultural differences. In English, phrases like judging a book by its cover describe this habit. The truth is, everyone has unique experiences shaping their behavior. When we pause and ask, why might they act this way, instead of reacting angrily, we open doors to smoother interactions and richer relationships. How understanding reduces stress. Imagine your coworker snaps at you. Instead of snapping back, you think, maybe they're overwhelmed. This shift in perspective prevents arguments. Studies show that empathetic people experience less stress because they don't take things personally. In English, we say, give them the benefit of the doubt, meaning to assume good intentions. Practicing this also improves your language skills. You'll learn phrases like I see where you're coming from or let's find common ground. Try it today. When someone annoys you, replace irritation with curiosity. The role of active listening. Understanding starts with listening, not just hearing words, but noticing emotions behind them. For instance, if a friend says, I'm fine while avoiding eye contact, they might need support. Active listening in English involves responses like, it sounds like you're feeling, or tell me more. This skill strengthens bonds and helps you learn natural phrases. Tip: next conversation, focus 100% on the speaker. Avoid interrupting or planning your reply while they talk. You'll be amazed how conflicts dissolve when people feel heard. Cultural differences and acceptance. A gesture like thumbs up might be positive in one culture but offensive in another. Travelers often face this challenge. Accepting differences means respecting that no culture is right or wrong. Useful English terms here include cultural sensitivity and open-minded. For practice, research a country's customs and discuss them in English. In Japan, bowing shows respect, unlike handshakes in the US. This expands both your worldview and vocabulary. The language of patience. Patience is the key to acceptance. When frustrated, phrases like I need a moment or let's talk later prevent hurtful words. English idioms like Rome wasn't built in a day remind us that change takes time. Try this exercise: write down 3 patient responses to use in heated moments. For example, I disagree, but I'd love to understand your side. This builds emotional control and language fluency together. How assumptions create conflict. We often create problems by assuming we know what others think. For example, if your friend doesn't reply to your message, you might think they're ignoring me, when actually they could be busy or having phone issues. In English, we call this jumping to conclusions. These assumptions lead to unnecessary arguments. A better approach is to ask open questions like, is everything okay? I noticed you didn't reply. This gives people space to explain while improving your English communication skills. Practice replacing assumptions with curiosity. It prevents many conflicts. The art of apologizing sincerely. A genuine apology can heal relationships, but many people say sorry without meaning it. A proper apology in English includes 1. Admitting what you did wrong, I was rude yesterday, 2. Showing understanding, I realize I hurt you, and 3. Making amends, I'll be more careful. Phrases like I take full responsibility or how can I make this right show maturity. Notice how these sentences use past tense for mistakes and future tense for improvement. This grammar structure makes your apologies more effective in English and in life. Accepting yourself first. You cannot truly accept others until you accept yourself. Many people struggle with self-criticism, saying things like I'm not good enough in their minds. In English, we call this negative self-talk. Try changing these thoughts to kinder ones. I'm learning and growing, or my worth isn't defined by mistakes. This shift in language creates self-acceptance. When you stop judging yourself harshly, you naturally become more patient with others. Practice writing 3 kind sentences about yourself in English daily. It's great for both mental health and language practice. The link between acceptance and forgiveness. Forgiveness becomes easier when we understand that people often hurt others because they're hurting themselves. The English phrase hurt people explains this cycle. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting, it means freeing yourself from anger. Useful English expressions include, I choose to let this go, or I understand you are going through a hard time. Try writing a forgiveness letter, you don't need to send it, in simple English. Describe what happened, how it made you feel, and end with I release this pain. This emotional vocabulary practice is healing. Real-life stories of transformation. Let me share Ravi's story. He hated his neighbor's loud music until he learned the neighbor was a new immigrant who missed his home country's vibrant culture. Instead of complaining, Ravi brought him Indian tea and said, could we find a volume that works for both of us? This small act of understanding solved the problem. Notice the useful English phrases here, find common ground and approach with kindness. Think of a conflict in your life, how could understanding have changed it? Try describing it in English using these new expressions. How to handle criticism gracefully. When someone criticizes you, your first reaction might be to defend yourself. But criticism often contains useful feedback if you listen calmly. Helpful English responses include, thank you for sharing that, or I'll reflect on what you've said. Even if the criticism is unfair, phrases like I see things differently, but I appreciate your perspective maintain peace. Practice this. Next time you receive feedback, pause for 5 seconds before responding. This brief moment helps you choose better words and shows emotional intelligence in English conversations. The science of empathy. Scientists have discovered mirror neurons in our brains that help us understand others' feelings. When you see someone smile, your brain actually prepares your facial muscles to smile too. This explains why English has phrases like your joy is contagious. Empathy can be strengthened like a muscle. Try this exercise. Watch English movies and pause to name the character's emotions. Say sentences like, she seems disappointed because her shoulders are slumped. This builds both empathy and emotional vocabulary simultaneously. Daily habits to build understanding. Small daily actions can dramatically improve your ability to understand people. Start with this 5-minute English journaling habit. Each evening, write about one interaction using phrases like today, name, seemed, emotion, when behavior. For example, today, my teacher seemed stressed when she kept checking her watch. This trains you to observe carefully while practicing past tense and emotion words. Another great habit is complimenting one person daily in English. It shifts your focus to others' positive qualities. Quotes to inspire acceptance. Great thinkers have shared wisdom about acceptance that we can learn from. For example, Gandhi's famous quote, "Be the change you wish to see in the world," teaches us to model acceptance first. In English class, analyzing quotes improves comprehension. Try this. Take the quote, "Everyone is fighting a battle you know nothing about," and rewrite it in your own English words. Then think of a real situation where remembering this would help. These exercises deepen both language skills and emotional intelligence. Role-playing scenarios for practice. Let's practice with two common situations. First scenario, your friend cancels plans last minute. Instead of getting angry, try saying in English, "I was looking forward to this, but I understand things come up. Let's reschedule." Second scenario, a coworker takes credit for your idea. You might say, "I'm glad you like my suggestion. Next time, I'd appreciate being credited directly." Role-play these with a friend, focusing on calm tone and clear English. Notice how understanding phrasing maintains relationships while addressing issues. Overcoming the fear of differences. We often fear what we don't understand: different religions, lifestyles, or opinions. English has a perfect idiom for this: fear of the unknown. A powerful way to overcome this is through exposure. If you're learning English, try talking to people from different countries about their customs. Ask questions like, "What traditions are important in your culture?" You'll discover that beneath surface differences, all people share similar hopes and fears. This practice builds both cross-cultural understanding and English conversation skills. How media shapes our perceptions. TV shows and news often present people in stereotypes: the grumpy neighbor, the dumb blonde. In English, we call these caricatures. They teach us to judge quickly rather than understand deeply. Combat this by analyzing characters in English. Is this portrayal realistic? What might this person's backstory be? When watching English media, press pause to name 3 possible reasons for a character's behavior. This develops critical thinking and emotional vocabulary simultaneously. Review, key lessons recap. Let's revisit our most important lessons. 1. Assumptions cause conflicts. Ask questions instead. 2. Listen actively to understand emotions. 3. Self-acceptance comes first. 4. Cultural differences enrich our world. 5. Small daily habits create big changes. Try summarizing these points in your own English words. I learned that. The most surprising thing was. This consolidation strengthens both the life lesson and your language retention. Final challenge and call to action. Your 7-day acceptance challenge begins now. Each day, 1. Have one conversation where you listen more than speak. 2. Learn one new English phrase about understanding, like walk in someone's shoes. 3. Write one sentence appreciating someone's difference. Share your experiences in the comments below in English. Remember, understanding others is a journey. Every small step makes life easier. Thanks for learning with me today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know what topic we should explore next. Thank you, and let's stay connected. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery. If you found this video valuable, imagine what you'll learn next. Subscribe to Wisdom Forge and hit the bell icon so you never miss more thought-provoking content, practical wisdom for everyday life, the tools to unlock your full potential. Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your biggest takeaway or what topics you'd like to see next. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning.